So have you seen interval notation before?
Yes.
You have? Oh, well then this is super easy. Okay. So what do you notice about interval notation over here? Did you notice any patterns?
When it was going this direction, the infinity sign was in the infinite solutions or whatever was in the front.
Yep, on the left.
And negative.
Yep. So when it's going this way, it's a negative infinity, right?
Yes.
Forever and ever, because that's the direction of negative infinity. You're good. Okay. And same could be true for on the right. When it goes to the right, and it has an arrow to the right, that goes to positive infinity. It's on the right. What about these numbers? Where are those coming from?
Where the dots are.
Where the dots are, yep. And is there a difference between a bracket and a parenthesis? Yes. What does a bracket mean? Not Nathan.
It's like equal to that. Yeah, X is equal to that.
Yep, you can include that number if it's a bracket. And if it's a parenthesis, then it's an open circle where that number is not included, right? Okay, and then what about this U? Anybody seen that U before? Never seen it before? Okay, we'll talk about it in a second. Okay, so interval notation, right over here, you're always going to start with your smallest number and end at your largest number. So it's the beginning to the end, or the smallest to the largest. You always go left to right whenever you're writing your interval notation. And then if you notice right here when there's a U, what word is over here?
Or.
Or. Okay? So that U really means or. And it's called a union. Okay, the U means union. It means or, it'll show up every time there's an or, you'll have a union. So this is what we just talked about. A bracket for a closed circle, including equal to a parenthesis for an open circle. If it's an infinity, it's also going to be a parenthesis. And then U means or union. So the brackets mean closed or included. The parentheses mean it's open, not included, infinity or negative infinity. Second cycle. So there are 20 examples on the back of this, the next page. We probably will not do all 20 because I don't think you'll need all 20 to get there. But we'll do a few of them. So they did number 1 for you. The next is greater than -3. Your number line, and then an open circle at -3 and an arrow that goes to the right. So your interval notation starts at -3 with a parenthesis. And it goes up to infinity, another parenthesis. So when x is less than 2, what kind of circle are we going to have on our number line? Open circle, and which way is it going to point? To the left. Okay, and then interval notation, we're going left to right, so it'll be negative infinity, the parenthesis all the way up to 2 for the bracket.
No.
No, another parenthesis. I don't know if the correct version is that. Okay, number 3, greater than or equal to 0. So what kind of circle at 0? Closed, pointing which direction?
Right.
To the right, because it's greater than or equal to. notation, you're gonna start at 0 with a bracket, and then go to positive infinity with a parenthesis. Number 4, less than or equal to -2. It's gonna be another, what kind of circle? Closed circle, pointing to the left. So your interval notation, from left to right, is negative infinity up to -2. The negative infinity has a parenthesis, and the -2 is going to have a bracket. Okay, for number 5, we have x is greater than -3 and less than or equal to 1. So we're going to have an open circle at -3, a closed circle at 1, and your line is going to connect them in the middle. So our interval notation this time is going to look like a point, kind of. You're going to have a -3 with a parenthesis, so it's an open circle, comma, 1 with a bracket, because the 1 is included. So if you haven't yet, go ahead and do number 6. Check yours with mine. Okay, number 7 is where we have that or. If you have an or, what did we say was going to be over here? The U for union, right? So if we're less than -2 or greater than or equal to 0, open circle at -2 pointing to the left, closed circle at 0 pointing to the right. You're going to have 2 pieces. So you pretty much do each line that you have up here and then put a union in the middle. So it's going to be negative infinity up to -2, both with parentheses, union, and 0 with the bracket, up to positive infinity with the parentheses. Yes.
There's a small typo on 6.
Oh, that's okay.
On the -3.
Good call. Thank you.
I'll have to fix that.
Thank you for telling me. I told you, brain dead. Okay, number 8, they gave you the number line. We get to do the other 2. So we're at -1 and to the right. So what's my inequality? What's the inequality for number 8? It's from -1 and everything greater than that. So would that be greater than or equal to -1? Yeah. So at -1, we're going to have a bracket or parenthesis bracket, and then it's going to go all the way to positive infinity. Okay, go ahead and do those next 2.
ahead and check 9 and 10.
Okay, are you feeling like you need to do some more examples? So I'm gonna stop talking at you so you can do your homework. Okay, you don't have to finish the notes if you don't want to. There's 8 questions on the homework. That's it. Hopefully you can get it done in the next 8 minutes and then you won't have any homework.